So I just got denied for an apartment. I have to move out of my beautiful, big ass, 2-bedroom apartment with a foyer and a separate kitchen and windows in every room. We're not gonna talk about it. Just got denied for an apartment because with me and my friend who are gonna be moving in together, her credit score is not high enough for us to qualify together, but my income is not high enough for me to qualify on my own. Although I have a 740 credit score, I have savings, and I make 30 times the rent. But because I don't make 40 times the rent on my own, although we make more than 40 times the rent together, we don't qualify. We don't deserve to have a home according to New York City real estate. And I'm just like, I don't understand, because it's like, so credit is powerful enough to make you a poor applicant when it's not good, but it's not powerful enough to make you a good applicant when it's good?
If you or someone you know is looking to rent an apartment anytime soon in the United States of America, good luck. Because it sucks. It's horrible. Just to qualify for a lot of these apartments, you need 3, 4, or 5 times the monthly rent in income monthly, just to qualify. And if you don't, you need a guarantor. You're lucky enough to have someone in your family, a friend, someone who's willing to be a guarantor for you. They better be making 5, 6, or 7 times that monthly rent in income. That's across the board. And even then, they're not going to make it easy for you. They want everything from you. They want bank statements, pay stubs, tax information. You need to submit tax information because you're self-employed or you own your business. 2 years of tax information, and the only way they will accept it is through email. Through email. So you've crossed your T's, you've dotted your I's, you have all of the information that you could need, you're gonna submit it, you have all of the monthly income requirements, all of that is good. You go, you tour an apartment, they show you one, they say this is great, it's in your price range, it's unlisted, it's a deal of a lifetime. Come to find out that that apartment is undergoing renovations for 4 months. And by the time it's available, the price is gonna be about $300 more a month than you thought. Do you have a question about your application? Did something go wrong with the online portal? Ooh, that sucks, because they're not going to return your calls, and they also don't care. The system is broken and rigged and awful. I can't understand how anybody actually gets an apartment these days, especially anyone who makes, I don't know, a normal service industry income. You're never living alone in your entire life. It's never going to happen. You can't afford to. It's not possible. You don't qualify for a place if you're just trying to get by yourself. It's unbelievable how rigged it is. It's awful.
So you can't afford a house, so then you need to rent. And the rental prices are so beyond astronomical because you're paying for someone's mortgage.
Despite laws that are supposed to prevent rental price increases exceeding 10%, some property owners seem to be exploiting people's desperation, and they're now advertising rental prices that have jumped from $4,300 a month to $44,000.
As you've all seen by looking at your phones and looking at the market, it's really expensive. So according to Zillow, from 2020 to 2024, the monthly mortgage payment on a typical home in the U.S. nearly doubled. Gulp. Oh my gosh, and that's just over 4 years.
If you want cheap rent without getting a roommate, there's only 2 options available. So for your first option, if you want a cheap apartment, is you have to move to far, far away land. You have to move to a small ass town where everybody goes to Walmart for fun. There's nothing to do and you'll be bored as hell, but your rent will be $35 a month. Your second option, if you want cheap rent, is your roommate is probably going to be rats and roaches. Your car's going to get broken into. You're probably going to get shot. But at least your city's a lot of fun and there's a lot of things to do in your city. And this is why I think renting is such a very unfair concept. I have a friend who's paying $2,500 a month for a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom apartment in Miami, Florida. Then I have another friend who's paying $800 for a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom apartment in a small town in South Carolina. Both apartments are pretty much the same size. The only difference is location. I think it should be illegal for rent to be over $2,000 a month. You could be paying $2,000 a month for your apartment, and your next door neighbor, same model, same everything, could be paying $1,800 for the same model apartment as you. Or they could be paying more than you. When you renew your lease, it could go up by $9 or $900. And then you're paying $2,000 a month, but you will never own your apartment. You will never own it. I feel like rent should be like a fixed amount across the board. A 1-bedroom apartment anywhere in the United States should be like $800. A 2-bedroom apartment should be like $900. Life is unfair, but renting is 10 times unfairer.
I'm ugly crying right now because I have not made any money at all, and unemployment still hasn't paid me, and I've had a couple people interested in taking my apartment, but then they just fell through last second, and I'm like, we're days away from July 1st, and I was like, I have no idea how I'm gonna pay rent. Like, I had no idea, and I've have like half of it. And I just won this fucking giveaway, which I was just like, oh, this is cool. Like, I won like a travel. So I was like, I can use this for my birthday. Because it was just like a travel gift card. And they go, yeah, we can give this to you, or you can pick cash. You can choose your prize. And I'm like, there was no cash in the giveaway stuff below. Like, it never said anything about cash. And I'm like, wait, what? I was like, how does the cash work? And they're like, we'll just Venmo you. And I'm like, I literally responded, I was like, you guys don't even know how much, like, you're blessing me right now. Like, this is insane. Like, so I knew I won, and I was like, okay, let's just wait, because, like, you don't know if it's actually going to happen. And they just fucking Venmoed me the money. And I'm like, I really needed it. And I'm just now I can pay my rent, and I have like another month to like find a job and figure things out instead of like scrambling and being super stressed. It just feels unreal, and it's weird because I just was talking about, like, I had this feeling like I wasn't supposed to leave and sublet. Like, I had a feeling like something was gonna work out. I had no idea what. And this giveaway today, like, I can't even believe it. Like, I'm just so blessed. Unreal.
How are we supposed to buy a house when my rent is going up another $195 a month? It has gone up $720 in 4 years for the same place that I live in. $8,640 a year more for the same place I lived in 4 years ago. I'm sorry, property taxes are not going up that much that landlords are charging that much more. We have to stop blaming the economy, the government, the president. It is greedy people taking more profits in. When people tell you, just move somewhere else, why would I move to another state that's cheaper? Why should I have to uproot my family, lose my career, just to afford to live somewhere? You're implying people who live in where I live now don't deserve a fair shot at cost of living. And places with cheaper rent pay lower salaries. That's how this whole thing works for the most part. And my girlfriend's a teacher. Like, if she moves to a state with a cheaper cost of living, she might not even have a pension or her benefits anymore. Instead of telling the middle class to keep, like, looking somewhere cheaper, why don't you all align together and get people out of control that are doing this to us? You are always closer to being homeless than you are to being rich. Like, everyone just assumes one day they're going to get rich. And that's why they don't stand up for people just like them in the struggle right now. If not for the raise I got 4 years ago, I would be totally screwed. I don't even want to hand out or help. I just want things to not be so crazy expensive every year. Like, go buy pizza from where I work. Go buy my merchandise. I don't know. Not a handout, just advertising.
These rent prices are unbelievable, bro. What? We've literally spent weeks upon weeks, days upon days, touring, looking at different places, and they done lost their mind, bro. Like, what have we came to as a society for rent to be $2,000 plus for a 1-bedroom apartment? Like, what are we talking about? And the square footage is under 1,000. Like, I don't understand what's going on. I mean, I know why the prices are high, but it's just like, it doesn't make sense, you know, like just a basic cost of living, like just a place to sleep. You're talking about $2,000 for a 1-bedroom. I mean, I've seen a 2-bedroom go for $3,000. We got to figure something out as a country, as a whole, as a unit, whatever, bro. Like, this doesn't make sense. And they wonder why people are not having kids right now, bro. Like, it's expensive to just feed yourself. It's expensive to just breathe and just to be alive. It's very expensive, bro. But dang, I ain't never seen no prices this high. Like, before COVID, I mean, you can get a 2-bedroom for, a good price, way more affordable than what it is now. So I'm interested to see how things are going to, develop as this new administration get in office.
I'm looking to move in Chicago, and I did a couple showings today, right? And I don't have a problem with rent increasing, but just make it make sense. Like, if you're gonna up the rent $500, why is everything the fucking same? I went to see this 2-bedroom apartment, right? It was like 1,000 square feet. Nice place. When I walked in, top floor, the bedrooms had to be 5 by 5. I said, what bed can you fit in this? They told me queen. No, you could fit a twin. I went to see another place, Industrial Loft. 2-bed, 1 bath. It was listed for $2,800. I said, okay. He looked at me. He said, actually, it's gonna be $3,000. You're pissing me off. I was ready to do 28. Why is it 3? Why did it become 3 today? Go to hell. I was talking to my homie. He's in the process of moving, wants to find a 1-bed. He was like, my budget like $2,000. He said, then when you start looking, nothing can give you $2,000. So you got to bump it to 26, which, like I said, rent is always going to increase. Just make it make sense. Add something, maybe some new appliances. I don't know. Just make it make sense to me.
Have landlords lost their minds? My roommate moved out a few months ago, so I currently live in a 2-bed, 2-bath by myself. And the price that I am paying for rent for a 2-bed, 2-bath with 2 parking spaces is the same amount of money I would be paying for a studio in Los Angeles, California. I feel like our whole perspective is warped because I hear people talking about, oh, I found a studio for $2,000, what a good deal. I just can't even process what is happening with rent costs in LA and also around the whole country. How is anybody affording rent? How?
Does anyone else feel younger and more behind in life now than you were a couple years ago? I don't know if it was the pandemic or if it's late stage capitalism. Maybe this is just what being in your early 20s is like. It's probably a sick and twisted combination of all three. But I feel like when I was 18, 19, even 20, I kind of had it figured the fuck out. I was living on my own. I mean, I had roommates, but I wasn't living with my parents. They kicked me out. Anyway, but I had a full-time job. I bought a car. It's the one I'm in right now. And I wasn't making crazy money. I was just a fast food manager, but I was not in debt. I did not have any debt. I was paying off my credit cards. I had great credit even. Don't even get me started. I literally thought the person I was dating at that age was the person I was gonna marry. Absolutely not. Crazy thought. I feel like I was actually an adult. Fast forward to now, I turned 23 this year, and guess who's living at home again? And what I don't understand is I am making more money now than I have ever made. How is it that I am still the brokest I've ever been? I feel like living on my own in an apartment again is so far out of reach, but I was doing that shit when I was a teenager? What the fuck do you mean? I get that I moved somewhere where the cost of living is higher, but how the fuck is the cost of living this high? It really is a crazy time to be a young adult. They fucked us.
I'm about to move into an apartment I don't know if I can afford, but I'm tired of renting rooms off Facebook Marketplace and dealing with these crusty crabs. And I just need peace and quiet. But I guess I'm just going to be having panic attacks for the next 28 days because I still have to come up with $2,000 without internet or furniture or a damn pot or a pan. But you know what? You got to start somewhere. So I just told myself, just get that apartment. Just get it. You want it. You want it. You've been wanting it for a long time. This one is very perfect. It's all you've ever wanted. And get it and get the 2-bedroom because they were running a holiday special. And I did. But I'm having major anxiety because a large payment is due in 14 days. Thank you.
No way in hell that it's legal for these apartments to be raising their prices the way that they are. I'm trying to move from where I'm at now. And I looked at a couple places, and there's one place that was my number one pick because it's just beautiful. But it's just a 2-bed, 2-bath flat. That's it. Ain't nothing else special about it. I mean, it has the upgrades. It is a beautiful place, but it's that's literally it. Ain't no basement, ain't no townhome, none of that shit. So when I went to look at it, the price was $1,582. I'm like, that's a little bit over my budget. I'm going to go look at some other places. I found some other places that I was interested in and willing to go for. It still wasn't beating that one, but again, Good enough. So then I started second guessing myself, like, wait, why should I not just get what I want? So I go back, because they sent the email with some updated prices, and their price actually went down to $1,515. So I'm like, let me jump on this, but I guess I was a week too late because the price went back up to $1,644. So I'm like, damn, like, forget it. Like, I'm just gonna let it go. So I get an email from the place again today. Why is the goddamn price up to $1,740 something? Like, y'all have got to be shitting me. Y'all have got to be shitting me. Ain't no way this is legal. Like, what type of shit y'all got going on? Like, how can the price jump up and down from week to week? Like, that just don't make no sense to me. And I don't get how that's legal. Like, how are they getting away with this? That's highway robbery. That's scamming, if you ask me.
I would have to disagree that $2,100 a month is damn cheap. And a lot of people have commented this, but it's just not true. So I'm going to explain why. The national average salary in the United States right now is $59,000, and $59,000 after taxes, your take home every month is about $3,800. So if you are a household or a single person living off of that one salary, that rent right there is more than half of what you're making. And that's just the average. So of course there's going to be people that are well below the average who cannot even afford a $2,100 rent that you guys are saying is cheap. Now, I'm not ungrateful at all. I'm blessed that we are able to afford this $2,100 of rent, which we got at this rate because we moved during COVID, during the height in 2020. We moved there in 2020 during the height of COVID, and they were having a really good deal because they were desperate to get people in. Now, unfortunately, that rent is about $3,000, but why are we normalizing? Why are we normalizing $2,100 a month of rent as being cheap when the majority of people in the United States don't even make enough to afford this type of rent? So many people have roommates. So many people who are families and have multiple children are living in an apartment instead of living in a house, which is what we are saving for. We're never going to own this apartment. We're all just throwing our money away, renting instead of buying. We have no buying power right now as millennials and as Gen Zers. Why aren't we able to afford to buy things like the generations before us did? How come we're the ones that are screwed? I was born and raised in California. It's not going to be possible for me to buy a home here because the average price of houses here, and these are old houses, like 1950s houses, is about $700,000. I thought I made decent money. Last year was the most I ever made, right? I thought that we would be able to afford a house. We're not going to be able to afford a house that's almost $1 million. It's just not going to happen. So I understand people saying $2,100 is cheap. It's not cheap. It's cheaper than other places, but we are all of us are being overcharged for rent, and these houses are insanely expensive, and there's like no chance of most people ever even being able to afford to buy a house in their lifetime. That's sad.
It ain't no way that renting an apartment is this expensive now. Like, what's really going on, bro? Like, the market for apartments is crazy. Not even just apartments, like houses, all that. It's like the norm is like $2,500. Like, what's really going on? How do y'all expect people to get through the week? Just like, I don't get it. Like, bro, I feel bad if you ain't working right now or something. Like, it is crazy. Like, and then it be the apartments that don't even be nothing special about it. It ain't them high-rise apartments. It's the simple one bathroom, 2 bedrooms, living room, and that's it. Like, at the end of the day, bro, the something gotta shake. A reality check has to come in play. Like, I don't know what's been going on these last couple of years, but I don't like it. Like, bro, you can't even tell nobody, like, yeah, I'm gonna move out and I get 18 to get a man. That's damn near throwing them to the wolves. You know what I'm saying? Like, how motherfuckers be like, your parents be like, hey, you gotta move out when you get 18. I wish motherfucker would tell me if I was 18 right now, move out. You gotta let me get some time to understand what's going on. Like, these apartments are so expensive. And that ain't even groceries, cleaning products, clothes. Like, to the new generation, life is life. And you remember that teachers always be like, yeah, once you graduate, you're gonna see how life is. No, life is really life. And I'm telling you, life is real.
My paycheck was short $300. I can't pay my rent on time. My car insurance is past due. It's like over $300. My energy bill is past due, and I've been paying little bits, and that's over $900. One of my senior technicians quit. And I tell you guys all the time that when you have struggles like this and you feel like you just have you don't know what to do. I have a wedding to save for. I'm gonna practice what I preach because I know God's got this. For any of you guys in the same boat, let's pray together.
And this is why I'm big on telling my son to just stay at home. Go live in a dorm or stay your ass at home with me. Because these are not the same apartments that we had when I was 18. When I was 18, I had a little $400, $500 apartment. Really, the highest apartment, maybe in a nice area, was like $750. Mind you, we was making like $8 an hour, $8.59, $10. I was a manager at a Foot Locker, City Gear, so I probably was making $11, $12 an hour, right? Still, I was making enough to pay my rent, pay my car note. My car note was only like $198. A time to be alive. Insurance, $120. Easily could afford everything. This shit right here is what y'all like to say, diabolical. Weird. Weird as fuck. There's no way people are surviving off of $15 an hour. So that's why you need 2 people making $15 an hour. Now you got somebody making 30. Really, you need 4 people because this shit is ridiculous. In order to pay car insurance, Wi-Fi, car payment, rent, food, personal expenses, and then any kind of fucking mistake or error that happens, you got to deal with that shit. If you miss one paycheck, shit fucked up. And I've seen this a million times in an office. Somebody coming there every other day, I need to talk to you, I need to talk to you, I need to talk to you, I need to talk to you. Only thing I can tell them is pay by the 15th to try to avoid the eviction. If you don't pay by the 15th, you're going under eviction. And after that, it's just a process. They want all their money in full. So it's like we start digging that hole, those fees and late fees, and oh my God, now you have anxiety because you was owing $1,500, now you owe $3,000. You look up again, now you owe $4,500. Now you look up again, that shit say $5,000, that shit say $6,000. At this point, when you come here telling me you got $600, I'm looking at you like you might as well take that and just move. Go ahead and get you a U-Haul. Because that ain't even going to put a dent in your balance. And I'm not in the business of taking your money if it's not going to really help you. I want you to be able to move. Because one thing about it, when the sheriff comes, they don't give a fuck. They're going to tell you to get out the way. And honestly, the most slimiest shit I've been seeing is that a lot of people don't even want to warn the people. Of course, it's your business. You need to keep up with what was going on with you by going to court, calling the magistrate to see what's going on. But honestly, it's too fucking cold to not warn people that they getting put out. So, you know, that's just not my mood. That's not how I work. But I have seen people that don't warn them that, hey, the sheriff is coming. And I understand it's a safety precaution. But goddamn, I'm tired of seeing people outside with newborn babies. And some of these people don't even have a vehicle. Like, what are we doing? Like, humanity is doomed. Well, the United States is fucking doomed. Like, I don't know. I'm just getting on here to talk about it because everybody around here with the aesthetic, they going shopping, they buying shit, they living their best life. And that's cute. You got one side of TikTok and Instagram that's lit.
So how are y'all staying in these apartments for years? Because my apartment raised the rent during the renewal by $100, which is way lower than what I've heard other people have to pay at renewal time. But after 3 years, I'm paying $300 more a month. For what? Because nothing's changed. And then they have the nerve to put it on the website for a lower price. No. And it's like, I would love to go all out on decorations, but when it's time to move out, I gotta take all that down? No. But seriously, how are y'all staying for so long? Because I love when I see people decorating their entire apartment and they've been there for 5 years. How? At some point, did they just stop raising the price?
Ever see someone on TikTok showing off their $8,000 per month apartment and think, yeah, I'll never be able to afford that? Well, you're not alone. Is Gen Z really living that life, or are we just being sold a fantasy? Well, across the US, especially in cities like New York and LA, the cost of rent is insane. Rent has gone up so much that it's not uncommon for young people to spend 70% of their wages on housing. And when you're spending that much, what's left for everything else? Financial experts say that rent should be about 30% of your income. So if you are making $50,000 a year, you should be looking at rent around $1,250. Sounds easy enough, right? Well, in cities like New York, the median rent for a one-bedroom is around $3,000. To stay within the 30% rule, you'd need to be making $10,000 a month or $120,000 a year, which is way above the average Gen Z salary. So people are getting creative, co-living, living with roommates, and taking on side gigs just to get by. With a salary of $45,000 a year, you would need to have a roommate or join a co-living space in order to afford an apartment here in New York City. But that often means less privacy and more shared spaces. So instead of comparing yourself to other people you see on social media, it's important to set realistic goals for yourself based on your own financial situation. As you grow in your career, you can level up your apartment in a way that matches your growing income. And at the end of the day, being smart about money isn't about chasing an unrealistic lifestyle. It's about balancing your goals with what's practical.
You ever look at a studio apartment with zero amenities, paper-thin walls, and a fridge from 2003, and it's going for $2,000 a month? Yeah, same. Let's talk about why renting an apartment in 2025 has gotten so expensive. Because it's not just you, and it's not because you eat out too much. Rent is high because the entire system is out of balance. First off, demand is up. Everyone needs a place to live, but there aren't enough affordable options to go around. And when something is in demand, prices go up. Simple supply and demand economics. Then you've got corporate landlords and real estate investors snatching up entire apartment buildings and turning them into cash machines. They're not trying to build communities, they're trying to maximize profits. So yeah, the rent keeps rising. Oh, and let's not forget the rise of luxury units. Developers are building high-end buildings with rooftop pools and dog spas, but almost nothing affordable for regular people. And guess what? Those luxury prices drive up rent in the whole area, even if your apartment doesn't come with a single perk. And while all of this is happening, wages haven't kept up. Rent goes up every year, but your paycheck? Not so much. So now, people are spending half or even more of their income just to have a roof over their head. To make it worse, some cities have no rent control, which means landlords can raise the price however they want, whenever they want. Moving? That's expensive too. Security deposit, first and last month's rent, application fees, pet fees, admin fees. It's a trap. So yeah, rent is high, not because people are irresponsible, but because the system is stacked. And it's getting harder and harder for everyday people to just live comfortably. Let me know in the comments, how much are you paying in rent right now? Has your rent gone up this year? And what would you be doing with that extra money if housing wasn't so expensive?